I just recently picked up this new Digitech Freqout pedal and wanted to do a quick review on seeing how it pairs up with my Helix. And so far, to me, this is kind of a match made in heaven type of pedal. Let me apologize first for the overly indulgent and gratuitous use of feedback in the opening piece of music, but I figured it was forgivable since I was demonstrating what this guy can do. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown, run through of the different features that this has built into it and the types of things it's capable of, with a couple of sound examples, which is what I used completely in the first opening music that you saw in the video. That whole thing was recorded direct with the Freqout, directly with the guitar into this into the Helix, hitting the front end of it as its manual suggests. A lot of people I've seen had some questions about where they should put this in the chain. The manual suggests to put it right at the front of your signal chain, right after your guitar. It could work elsewhere. I haven't tried it, to be quite honest with you. I've had the pedal for about 2 days and I've only tried it in the front of the amp, or in this case, the Helix. So the one important point to bring out is in the piece of music you heard at the beginning, I was recording with headphones on. Okay, I had no speakers on at any time, and the reason I did that is I wanted to show what this was capable of without having any interaction between a live speaker, whether a pair of studio monitors or an FR monitor or a guitar cabinet interacting with the pickups. That was just any feedback you heard was just coming straight from the Freqout pedal. Okay, I was using my Godin Summit with Seymour Duncan P90s, paired up nice. I believe the amp I was using on the Helix was one of the Plexi models, but I'll have to double check that for sure. I'm not sure. I dialed that in a few days ago. So what are some of the features on the Freqout? Well, let's go through the knobs here. There's basically a dual purpose knob here with a center knob and a outer ring, so a center and outer ring. The outer ring, what it is how quickly the onset of the feedback is going to come in. Okay, so if we set that down, it takes a lot longer for the feedback to come in. If we set it higher, it's going to come in quicker. So it gives us control over that. The middle is just simply the gain, how loud we're going to hear our direct signal mixed in with just the feedback signal. The type knob down here, it says there's different settings. It has sub, first, second, third, fifth, natural low, and natural high. And we'll go through those in a second. It gives us the ability to switch our switch here, our foot switch, from a momentary switch to basically a latching switch, right? So I can with momentary off, I can hit that and the pedal stays on. Every time I hit a note, it's going to feedback that note depending on the settings that I have set over on my onset gain and the type that I have chosen. Okay, with momentary on, I think this is one of the coolest features of the pedals. We can set all that up. It will never engage itself on a note until we step on the pedal switch. Okay, so we can sit there and hold a note, sustain it. It won't do anything. The Freqout will not do anything until we step on this. Then it'll bring the feedback in at our chosen time. That was a really kind of the way that I preferred to use it. It gave me much more control as to when that was going to start, and it was just kind of gave me my desired results. But whatever, it gives us nice to have that flexibility. It also has another switch, dry, on and off, which was a really interesting thing for Digitech to put in here, because with it off, we're going to have no dry signal whatsoever. And it gives almost more like an EBow type of an effect, right? Where we're not hearing the initial note we're playing at all. We're just going to have this smooth singing sustain of the feedback, so we can get very smooth kind of movements, and I'll demonstrate some of that in a minute. The other way around, what it's going to have is the original note mixed in, so when we play our note, we'll then hear the feedback gradually come into it. So that's basically it. It's that simple. So what happens with the type is we have sub, first, second, third, fifth, natural low, natural high. Now that can be a little bit confusing, because as the manual points out, these are the different harmonics that are created in relation to the note that we're playing. So sub basically gives us feedback that's going to be pitched an octave below the note we're playing. Okay. When we go to the first harmonic, that's going to give us feedback that's in unison with the note that we played. When we go to the second harmonic, that's going to give us feedback one octave above the note we played. When we go to the third harmonic, this is where it's a little bit confusing. That's actually going to give us an interval of a perfect fifth above the note we're playing, which is confusing because it says third. We might think, well, maybe that's an interval of a third, a major third or a minor third, but it's not. The third harmonic under the type setting is going to be a perfect fifth above the note we're playing. The fifth harmonic setting is going to give us a major third above the note we're playing, okay? And the natural low and natural high settings are kind of interesting. What they did here is they gave us a natural low setting, which gives us the lower harmonics. It's going to lean towards the lower harmonics, but it's going to try to react in more of a natural way, like real feedback would. Maybe we're not just going to hit a note and always get the same feedback interval coming back at us. It could change depending on where we move, or how, maybe something we're doing with the touch on our fingers, or how the tone settings are, or the amp settings, or all sorts of. It's going to react kind of more in a real life situation, and the natural high is going to react much like that, but with the higher harmonics. Okay, so that's basically it. So now what I want to do is just give you a quick little rundown, some examples outside of the song that you heard at the beginning of what these various modes sound like. So first we'll go down and we'll do sub. So here's sub. Okay, let's move that up to the first harmonic. Let's move that to the second harmonic. Now let's go to the third harmonic. Now let's try out the fifth harmonic. This will be the natural low setting. And this will be the natural high setting. Now let's try just a little tiny bit of the example where I kill the dry signal using the dry on-off switch, where we get almost like that EBO type of an effect, which can be really an interesting effect that we may not think of using the Freqout for. Our first impression might be to just use it to get feedback to on a particular note whenever we desire it. But this can be a really interesting textural thing, and I actually used that setting in the original song in the beginning. And I blended it with myself playing the melody with the Freqout in the other setting where I was getting the dry to come through. So it gave almost like a synthy kind of a tone underneath it, very smooth, sustaining, allowed me to slide around and get the notes sounding kind of neat. That's what this sounds like. All right, so that's basically the Digitech Freqout. It pairs beautifully with modelers, right? Especially if we're in the studio and we're playing at lower volumes. Maybe we're recording on headphones and we don't have that ability to get our pickups and our guitar to interact with some sound coming back out of them from a monitor or a speaker. Real lifesaver in that situation, and we can add a lot of pretty interesting variety to our recordings that maybe we wouldn't have had the ability to do. Also, another great feature would be maybe in a live situation where the amps are off stage and we're using in-ear monitors where there's just no volume coming off the stage to get our guitar to interact in a way that we could get that feedback, right? And just for those times where we want to just have feedback in a situation where maybe we're not at the volume to get it, or maybe we're playing a small club where we're not cranked up that loud that we're going to get the feedback. So really great pedal put out by Digitech. Thanks very much, guys. There's a quick video just to kind of show off what this Digitech Freqout pedal will do. Please hit the subscribe button and like and share the videos, and I'll be back very soon with some more Helix based videos and some more guitar lesson videos and we'll see you soon.